Live from the House of LeMay Makeup and Dressing Room.
Here comes Amber. Stop what you're doing. Here comes Amber. She's just doing what she can. Here comes Amber. Cue the spotlight. Here comes Amber with 2 drinks in her hand. The matriarch of fashion, sequins to her glasses. You can't look away. Ask her, does she do it? There's really nothing to it. She's got that feminine game. If you have a party, or if you're feeling naughty, call up the House of LeMay. Here comes your favorite gal. Here comes your queen. Here comes your talk of the town. And we're live tonight. The music starts playing. It's time for cabareting. And we're live tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, please turn off all cell phones and get ready for your host, Amber LeMay.
Hello, it's so good to see you, but you know what I want you to do first? I want you to like, share, and subscribe. Come on, I want you to do that, please, for me, and spread the word that you're watching Amber Live tonight. But you know what? Now it's time for this week's headlines. Say you're having some knee pain. Maybe you're suffering from some strained ligaments in your right knee. What would give you relief? A wheelchair? A cane? Physical therapy, perhaps? Well, 85-year-old Pope Francis has chosen to remain mobile with a wheelchair and is getting 2 hours of PT per day. But His Holiness is also choosing a more homeopathic approach. When asked about his pain, the Argentinian-born Pope replied, "Do you know what I need for my knee? Some tequila!" I've heard a lot of stories about tequila. Remember that song, Tequila Makes Her Clothes Fall Off? Oh my. Holy. I believe I need to go to confession. Or, as my good friend Lucy Bell would say, another round. Well, if it makes him feel better, go for it. However, I do have to wonder, if wine is considered the blood of Christ, which body fluid is tequila? Now, for all you gay gamers out there, and by the way, the word gamer was the wordle of the day on Friday, and I got it after 4 tries. That included tamer and lamer. Well, anyway, there's a new video game featuring lumberjacks, and it's more than just okay. The game is called Log Jam, and developer Robert Yang describes it this way. He says it's a short, small game about a middle-aged lumberjack daddy processing wood and other hard things. It's a simple work simulator with a burly stripper and occasional twists. Now, see, you use your controller to move the axe up and then bring it down. You get points for each even cut, and as the outdoor temperature gauge increases, the lumberjack might shed his hard hat, work shirt, and jeans. The game lasts about 30 minutes. 30 minutes? That just might wear out my joystick. Yang's other games include The Tea Room, a game about cruising a public bathroom. Hurt Me Plenty, wherein you must consensually flog a submissive dude, and Succulent, wherein shirtless popsicle eating drives nearby men into glitchy ecstasy. I told Russell I wasn't going to laugh about that, but it's true. We've come a long way since Pong, that's for sure. Now, are you an adventurous eater? Are you one to say, I don't care, just put something in my mouth? Well, have I got a place for you. A new eating establishment recently opened in the red light district of Amsterdam, and it's called Satan's Anus, a glory hole restaurant. Could I make this up? Well, I would, but I don't think I could. We'll get into the name Satan's Anus in a minute, but first I need to describe what constitutes a glory hole dining experience. Diners are served blindly through a hole in the wall. Oh, now it makes sense. Sort of. The idea for the restaurant stems from the Batu Kombucha Company. They were looking for a way to promote their two newest flavors. The one flavor is made with the rare Asian citrus Buddha's hand. And the other limited edition is made with the hottest pepper in the world, the Carolina Reaper pepper, also known as Satan's anus. Budo teamed up with a chef who created special dishes to be served with the new beverage flavors. A spokesperson for Batu explains, as children, we used to play the game, close your eyes, open your mouth. Then you were surprised with something delicious. The culinary glory hole is the bold adult version. When people show courage, they are rewarded with rich taste sensations. Now I think I really do need to go to confession. And that's this week's headlines. Let's bring Russell in to talk about the show. Hey, Russell. I tried not to laugh during those games, but they're really true games.
I knew you were going to break down and laugh. I knew it.
Oh my goodness. I know we've got some new viewers tonight, so let's tell them the best way to watch the show.
The best way to watch the show is on YouTube. That's where you can enjoy Amber Live. And if you look there, you can see our youtube.com/Amber Live is the address to go to. And the reason for that is on YouTube, we are running in full HD, so you can see everything in all its detail. But I do want to remind you that we've got other places where you can watch and or see lots of other parts of the Amber Live world. We have a TikTok channel, Instagram, and Facebook, all of which are busy and updated, and each one gets different things on it. So we recommend you check them all out. And then there's always our website, amberlive.tv. And Amber, I have a new announcement tonight. We have added something fun for everybody who likes podcasts. We now have the Amber Live interviews, which are available in all those places listed there, like the Apple Podcasts and Spotify and Google and Amazon. And the interviews, I've taken just the interview portion of the show and cut it out so it's you and the guest, and they can go listen to just that if they would like to. On Spotify, it does appear as a video podcast, and everywhere else you just have audio. So that's available out there for everybody who's an Amber fan now.
Well, how exciting. How exciting. But I know there's something else you want to promote as well.
Oh, yes, you know it. And we have a message from Lucy Belle again.
Hey, I am Lucy Belle LeMay. Did you know that just like PBS, Amber LeMay is an institution? Or she should be in one. Of course I'm kidding, but I'm not joking when it comes to keeping Amber LeMay live and live streaming. And now you can help. During the next month, every dollar donated to the show will be doubled up to $500 by a handsome anonymous stranger, my favorite kind. So, get your phones out right now, hit that Venmo button, and donate any amount, $10, $25, $50, or make Lucy Belle happy and donate a Benjamin Franklin. And no, not an old man in a wig, $100, silly. And for every donation over $25, Amber LeMay will send you her personally autographed photo for you to display in your home or place of business, as long as it's reputable, of course. If you donate over $50, we will send you the signed photo and a magnet. For a donation of $100 or more, we'll get you a cameo-style video from Amber, topic of your choice. Finally, for $500 or more, Amber will join you live on a Zoom. Venmo now, y'all, at RJD Pro, or use that support button on our website, amberlive.tv.
Yay!
Thank you, Lucy Belle. And I agree. Another round. Another round.
I don't know if you noticed that, Amber. I think you were taking some notes, but since we originally recorded that, I added a message in there because our challenge was to get to $500. So we have that anonymous donor who's matching everything up to $500, and they doubled it. So it's now matched up to $1,000. So if you're out there, if you're waiting to donate, now is the time to do it. So if you make a donation, it will be doubled up to $1,000 total, not $1,000 per person, but which would be a huge help for Amber Live. So if you can do it, use that Venmo, please, and send us your support. So thank you all. Thank you very much.
You know, last week we had the show, the Bill Rudman interview, which I love. It was a recorded show because that weekend was the Winter Was a Drag Ball, our annual event that we promote. And that's what we were doing on Saturday night. We had a great event. I want to thank everyone for coming out. One of our regular guests and fans, Big J, did his Michael Jackson dance. That was just great. We had the Mare dancers. We had Emoji Nightmare. We had Ebro Hemley. We had Isis Vermouth. We had Superior Sounds. It was just a wonderful night, and we raised money for Vermont Cares. It was a good cause. So thank you, everyone, for participating last Saturday night and letting us take a night off from a live show. All right. Let's see. And you know, the 7 Days is the local Vermont alternative newspaper, and it's a great newspaper. And every year they have the past 2 years, but they have the best of, and they call it the Daisy Awards. And there's some categories that you could go online and you could vote for, Amber. There's one for best drag performer or group. I'd love you to vote for the House of LeMay. That would be great. And then there's also, best GLBT event. The drag ball would be a great person or thing to vote for there. And then do my good friend Bob Bolliard a favor and vote for him for Best Actor. He's been nominated more times than anybody else. Never won, but you know what? He just likes to be nominated. So do that as well. So that's at 7 Days. Thank you, 7 Days. You don't have to vote for a lot. You can just vote for 1 or 2 or 3, like I suggested, and that'd be great. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Shilala. Hello, Shilala. Nice seeing you. We didn't talk about Wednesday. I see so many good friends from our Wednesday night Amber chats. We've got, Two Toes there from Montana and Shilala from Alberta, Canada, or is it Manitoba? Oh, I always get confused.
Yeah, Shilala is in Manitoba.
Oh, Manitoba, yeah.
Yes,
And of course we've got, so great people. And the Buck Bunch is from Ohio in there. So it's just great to see everyone lined up tonight to watch Amberland. Big J, yep, that's right, Big J, you were there. All right, Russell, do we have a caption for tonight's show?
We do, and in keeping with our discussion of eating establishments with strange names, we have this picture that was taken by Rocco and I were out walking the streets of New York, and we spotted that. So if anyone's got a funny caption that they would like to send in the comments, label it as a caption, send it into Jack, and at the end of the show, we'll bring up the best ones and talk about them and have some good laughs. So send those captions into Jack. And
I can't really see anything that could be humorous about that.
No, nothing at all. Logan should have stopped by. We're in trouble now.
Hey, they're on after I leave, so you just keep your hands in your pockets, so to speak. All right. Okay, so tell us about our guests tonight, Russell.
We have a great lineup. First up, we have a returning guest and one of our favorites and such a fun person to chat with. We have I don't even have the words for her at the moment, the incomparable Dixie Longate, who will dazzle you with her verbal abilities and and make you laugh till you can't stop laughing. And so we love Dixie and welcome back. And then after that, we have new friends, Jason and Michael, who are here to talk about their house of all things. And it's a Frank Lloyd Wright house. So it's going to be a very exciting segment as we learn all about that. So it's going to be a great show.
And we have Rocco.
And we have Rocco will be here. And Duane Scott Cerny might pop in for a moment at some point along the way.
And I've got my I've got my rants and raves and Amber Live update too coming up. So that's coming up right after or coming up soon. All right, so let's go to our first guest tonight.
All right, have a great show, Amber.
Thank you very much, Russell. Yes, our first guest, you've seen her on here. I think this is her third appearance on Amber Live, and we love her so much. Let's bring in Dixie Longate. Dixie, come on in.
Hi, Miss Amber. How's every last thing and everything in between? Y'all doing good?
We're doing very, very good.
That makes my heart happy. I hope the lighting's okay. I'm in a rental house right now on account of the fact that I'm back on the road. I'm finally on tour. I've been off tour for a while now because of COVID and everything, but now I'm back on tour. So coming to you from Pittsburgh. I can't stand it. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Right now.
Now you've been in Pittsburgh. You've played Pittsburgh before, haven't you?
I have. This is actually my fourth time playing Pittsburgh. So I'm back with my show, Dixie's Tupperware Party, and I'm here for 3 weeks. So they just finished the end of my second week, and then now I got one more week, and then I'm on the road with my new show, which I know we're going to be talking about coming up. And I've got a bunch of different stuff, and then I'm going to Denver for a while with my other show, Never Wear a Tube Top While Riding a Mechanical Bull, and 16 other things I learned while I was drinking last Thursday. And then I'm going to be in Edinburgh, Scotland for the whole month of August at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival doing another show called Dixie's Happy Hour. So it's going to be like, I've got all this stuff that I'm working on over all this time. So it's going to be it's going to be exhausting and confusing next couple of months because I hope I don't walk on stage and say the wrong thing at the wrong time. But you know what? I've never had a problem doing whatever that is.
Well, you know, now I'm not saying, but some queen has told me that you have all of these different shows. They're just the same show, but with the same name, with different names. Is that
Not
true?
at all. Every show is totally different. So Dixie's Tupperware Party, which is my original show, which started off Broadway in 2007, it's a Tupperware party on stage, but it's an allegory for women's empowerment, all told through Tupperware. And then my second show, Never Wear a Tube Top While Riding a Mechanical Bull and 16 Other Things I learned last Thursday, is a show about. It's the day after it's in my best friend's honky tonk, and the honky tonk is called Shit Kickers. And it's in Mobile, Alabama, and it is the day after my best friend Georgia Jean gets married and goes away on her honeymoon. So I'm there in the honky tonk cleaning everything up, and then everybody that's in the audience, they're all people like on a bus on their way to New Orleans for Mardi Gras, and then a storm washes the bridge out, so they're all in there. And so what happens is I sit there talking to them about all the stuff that we were doing, creating the party for my best friend's wedding, and then. You know when you get drunker and drunker, when you're writing stuff down, then all of a sudden you just like change the world and you become the smartest person ever. So what it is it's everything you ever need to know in life you can learn by riding a mechanical bowl. So I take all the ways that all of the things that you ride a mechanical bowl with, and I break it down and I apply them to your life. So it's a completely different show. And then my new show, Cherry Bombs and Bottle Rockets, which just premiered in, that's the one right there, look, just premiered in April 2nd in Fort Worth, Texas. And then I went to Charlotte, North Carolina with it. And now we're going to start doing a bunch more shows coming up. It's all about, everybody went through the pandemic. We all had our different crazy experiences. But I think what's interesting now is all bets are off. You can be anything you want to be. If there's anything we learned from the pandemic, it's like you don't have to fit into a box anymore. You can be and do anything you want to do because everything that you know about life changed during this past 2 years. So I relate a story about one of my friends when I was real little that we used to get cherry bombs and bottle rockets at the local penny candy store. And she loved the cherry bombs because they just exploded and made a big mess, and she liked how loud they were. And I always like the bottle rockets because I like how they fly up in the air and kind of paint the sky. And so it's sort of like, well, what do you want to be? Do you want to be a cherry bomb, just make a big mess and make a big noise and scare all the critters? Or do you want to be a bottle rocket, fly up in the air and paint the heavens? And so it's all these stories that have happened during the last 2 years and how we can better adjust and go into the new version of yourself and find out what that's going to be. So every show is a little bit different to be able to kind of share fun things with the audience. Guys, I'm really lucky because I have audiences that come back again and again and again. So I want to keep giving them something fun to share.
Now, you're on the road. How does that affect your family life?
Oh, it's amazing because I don't have to see my kids. Like I take my kids. I got 3 kids, Winona, Duane, Absorbing Jr. They're so sweet. And so they are back home in Alabama right now. And I tether them like to the front door of the trailer. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'll be back or whatever. And then it's not like every once in a while they'll try to, do that face call on me, and they're like, Mama, I want to show you something. So I have to turn it on, and then I'll be like, oh my God, why is there a bloody handprint on the wall. Why is the cat missing a leg? And then I just say, look, I'm going through the canyon. I can't hear you. And then I just turn it off because I don't want to know what's happening. I just tell my friend that lives 3 trailers down from me, go over there every once in a while. And if you don't poke a stick with a bear or whatever the phrase is, just make sure that nothing's on fire. As long as the trailer's not on fire and there's nothing coming out the front door that shouldn't be, that's fine. That's fine. Throw a couple Hungry Man frozen dinners every once in a while on the lawn. Let the heat of the sun warm them up, and then the kids can go eat dinner. That'll be nice. But otherwise, I don't want to worry about it. I'll bring them some gifts or whatever when I get back from the tour. But right now, it's so nice I don't have to be near them or hear them or raise them or anything. That's nice.
Is there anything different about being on tour now as opposed to pre-COVID?
You know what there is? It's different because I always traditionally do a lot of stuff with the audience. I mean, I do a lot of Q&A and talking to the audience and involving them in the shows. But also at the end of the shows, I would always go out in the lobby and meet people and talk to people, make pictures and everything. Because of everything that's going on, I can't do that no more right now because of all this, like right now, even where we are, the cases are going up again. So to protect everybody, protect the team that's working on the show and me as well, we just have to kind of make all those things kind of not happen right now. And hopefully we'll get back to those soon. But it is weird because I would normally go off the stage and then spend about half an hour with the audience. And now I go off the stage and I'm like, oh, I'm done. That's weird. What do I do now? I don't know, because I'm always just shutting up the storm with everybody. But so yeah, we got to do that just to keep everybody safe. But people are coming back and they're loving it. They're having so much fun. They're so happy to be back with friends and family and getting together with a bunch of people. So it is nice. You definitely feel a different energy now that people, but then before the pandemic, people are just so excited and grateful to be back out doing stuff. So that is really fun.
Now, have you ever been propositioned by an audience member? Someone says, "Ooh, I like you."
All the time. I mean, my legs go all the way up, so sometimes people see me walking around and they're like, oh my Lord, I want to suck on those legs like a popsicle stick. And I'm like, I know, Reverend, or whatever. And so then you got to just sort of, you got to see what you can do. But again, with the COVID, you got to be like, okay, you can only suck up to the knee because I got to be 6 feet away or whatever. But, it's not, because people are so neighborly and they're always like, what are you doing? Want to come behind the dumpster? Or what? You're like, yay. But, it just happens. Like when you're just naturally pretty, can't help it. Jesus was in a good mood when he made me. So I'm like, can't help. That's why I donate to less fortunate people. Yeah, because it kind of balances things out. You know how that is. But yeah, so every once in a while people come up and just, throw a 20 on the ground and see if I'll pick it up. And I usually do because I'm a giver. But you gotta deal with people and roll with the punches these days. You really do.
What's your favorite part about touring and what's your least favorite part about touring?
I think my favorite part about touring and being on the road for so long is just all the different places I get to go and see. And it's fun because I always talk on my social media. I'm like, hey, I'm in a new city. Where should I go? What should I do? What's the thing that's not to be missed? So, I always like to go out and sort of explore the city. And it's easier when I'm in a city for a long time. Like with the new show, Cherry Bombs and Bottle Rockets, I'm only going to be in each city for just like one show. So I'll be in and out real quickly. So like I'm going to be in Virginia, like right outside of DC coming up in June, and then I'm going to be in San Antonio, and then I'm going to be in Austin. So I don't get to see the places as much as I get to see. Like here, I'm in Pittsburgh for 3 weeks. Then I'm going to be in Denver for 4 weeks. So I get to kind of get lost in the city and learn about the city and see how it ticks from not just like somebody visiting's point of view, but like somebody who would live there, the kind of things that they would do if they lived there. So I don't know like that. And there's nothing I really don't like about it, because I've been able to meet so many amazing people and see so many great places. I mean, all around the world now. So it's so fun. And then like I've learned how to say, no, officer, that wasn't me, in like so many different languages now, which is really convenient if you get in a problem. But then I'm also really good at like international languages. Like I can unhinge my jaw and my whole head swings back like a Muppet. So that's like a really good standard international thing. You can use in Italy or other places. So yeah, it's really nice to be able to just speak internationally like that. But I love that. That's one of my favorite things, just being able to go and see places that otherwise I wouldn't even get to see.
You've been in Pittsburgh for a couple of weeks. You're going to be there a couple more. Tell us one thing about Pittsburgh that we may not know about.
Well, you know what? There's so much fun. So Pittsburgh is really, they have this accent that is so funny. Like where I'm from the South, and I say y'all, they have a thing called, they say yins. And which is like the weirdest thing I've ever heard. And so the hey yins guys, and what's yins doing and stuff. And it's just like so strange. And so sometimes when people talk to me, I just look at them for a long time, and then I like, hit them in the face because I'm like, I think you're not supposed to say that. I don't know anymore what it means. But then they're always really nice because then they want to make out with me. And I can't help it when people just like drawn to me like that. But no, there's so much there. Like I'm right to the, if you've ever seen the city, there's downtown, there's 3 rivers that sort of merge all together. And downtown, there's this beautiful thing called the Point with a big fountain and everything. And then there are all these bridges that connect everything. So like if you're like trying to get away from somebody, you have like dozens of different options to run up different bridges, and then they can't follow you, so that's really great. But yeah, I'm on the north side of the city, across the river from the center of the city, which is where the theater is. So it's just nice going around. And I'm right by the Andy Warhol Museum, which is really nice. This is so great. Yeah, I know. He's an artist and everything. He's no longer alive because of whatever happened to him, but he died.
Are there any Pittsburgh foods that you really like, or something unique about Pittsburgh food?
Okay, let me tell you something. They put French fries on everything here. It's crazy. They will put French fries, not like on the side of the plate. They will put it on your sandwich, not just like on top of it. They will put it on they will open it up, put French fries on it, put the bread back on it. I'm like, everything's coming. I went to a restaurant the other day. I ordered water. There were fries in the water. They put fries on everything here. It's crazy. Like nobody needs that many French fries. They're delicious and everything, but nobody needs that many French fries, But so that's kind of like the weirdest, quirkiest thing about Pittsburgh. It's just the sheer amount of potatoes that they must consume on a daily basis. It's crazy.
Okay, so you're on your tour. Where can we find out all the information about where you'll be touring?
Super easy. If you go to DixieLongate.com, just my name, DixieLongate, it just rolls off the tongue, obviously. You can just go there and find all the tour dates, everything and that we have a bunch that I'm about to announce. So we're waiting for the art centers to announce those, and then we'll be able to put those on the thing as well. But if you go, you can click on the on tour, and you'll see which city is going to be in and which show is going to be in which city, since I'm rotating about a bunch of different shows. So yeah, just go there, you'll find me.
Oh, thank you so much, Dixie. It's great seeing you. You have a great summer. Can't wait to catch up with you again.
Thank you for having me, my darling. You're gorgeous as always.
All right. Thank you, Dixie. Bye-bye. I love Dixie Longate. All right. So in this week's Amber's Live update, we're looking at last Tuesday's primary election in Pennsylvania. All right. Back in November of 2020, we spoke with then Lieutenant Governor of Pennsylvania, John Fetterman, and his wife, Giselle. Since then, John ran for the Democratic nomination for the U.S. Senate and won handily. The sad news, one of the people he defeated was another former guest, Malcolm Kenyatta. John, who suffered a minor stroke just a few days before the election, will now face another former hedge fund operator, or Dr. Oz. My money's on Mr. Fetterman. While Malcolm may have lost, he's young, ambitious, and he's got a great future in politics. Also on that same show with Malcolm was Sean Malloy, who was running for a congressional seat from the Keystone State. And sadly, Sean was also defeated. However, my biggest disappointment came when two-time guest State Senator Brian Sims lost his bid to become the Democratic nominee to succeed Fetterman as Pennsylvania's lieutenant governor. What's sadder is now Brian's voice is gone from their state legislature. But just like Malcolm, I know we haven't heard the last of Brian Sims. And to end on a happier note, former guest, Pennsylvania State Representative Jessica Benham, won her primary handily and looks like she'll not be opposed in a general election in November. You may recall that Jessica ran as an openly bisexual candidate with autism. Congratulations, Jessica! And that's this week's Amber Live update. All right, so let's bring Russell back in. Hey, Russell.
Hey, Amber. Oh, my goodness. My ears are trying to recover still.
Sam's watching tonight. Hey, Sam. I see.
Hey, Sam. Oh, Dixie's wonderful. Oh, my goodness. So much to take in there.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It was wonderful. All right. So, Russell, what's coming up next on the show?
We have our friends Jason and Michael talking about their Frank Lloyd Wright house coming up. We have Amber's Rant and Rave. We still got a visit with Rocco Zamboni. And I think he's showing off his house or something. And there's the caption this and so much more to take in still. It's amazing.
Show that caption picture. Show that caption picture.
So it's just a reminder, if you've got a funny caption for this picture, please send it in to Jack in the captions, label or in the comments, label it as a caption so he knows that's what you mean. And at the end of the show, we'll take a look at them and see who had the funniest one.
All right. You have one more plug?
Yes, I always have one more plug for the Bustiers and our pledge drive.
Hey, do you know what month it is? I'm not even sure what day it is, but it's the month of May. And May is fundraising month for Amber LeMay. So if you love Amber, and I know you do because you're watching the show, or you love Russell, or Rocco Zamboni, or Emoji Nightmare, or Lucy Belle, or that guy with 3 names, or Rusty peeing in a beer can, in the can, whatever that's about, then you need to donate, because it's time. We told you how to do it. Just do it. We need you. Let's keep this show going. It's fun. More fun coming. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Duane Scott Cerny.
Yes, thank you, Duane, or Duane Scott Cerny, man with 3 names, for telling everybody about that. And I want to remind everybody again that our anonymous donor, Amber's secret admirer, has doubled their donation up to $1,000, matching whatever you give during the month of May. So please help us out, help us meet that goal, and thank you all. And of course, there's one other way you can always help us out, and that's by showing support to our sponsor.
Every time I go to visit Upper Beaver Gash, I always think, why don't they have great shops like we do down in Beaver Pond? Well, now you don't have to leave the safety of your home and risk getting that pesky Beaver 19. You can shop at the Amber Live store right off the interwebs.
And it's a better shop than Peggy's Plump and Proud. Oh, but don't tell her I said that. She's still giving discounts to the Beaver Pond players for the costumes.
I like the great products like the coffee cups I drink my morning coffee out of, or my evening beers if I feel like getting all fancy.
Down at B&B Fix-It Shop, we use large Amber Live beach towels to lay out on the grass every day at $4.20.
And don't miss the Rusty Bean collection for all your bean needs, dude.
Ditto on whatever he said. I just love their shirts and hoodies. Oh yes, that they have at the Amber Live store. Oh, they keep me so cool in the summer and warm in the winter at the Amber Live store.
So shop at the best store in Beaver Pond, or better yet, stay on your couch, eat some pork rinds, have a beer, and order right now on amberlive.tv.
Thank you, Beaver Pond players, and don't forget to check out their music video, Sweaty Balls. All right, we told you about our guest coming up, and let's bring them in, Jason and Michael. Guys.
Hello from Iowa. Hello, gorgeous.
Iowa. Oh, are you from Iowa? Oh, very nice. All right, so which one's Jason? That's Jason and Michael. Okay, that's how I have your names here, so I'll know that. All right, let's say that we were at a Dixie Longate show, and you sent her a message saying, hey, you'd like to hook up with her, but she turned you down. All right, so I'm your second choice. What is your tell me who you are and what you want me to know. Let's start with Jason.
Oh, okay. Well, what I want you to know is that we own a Frank Lloyd Wright designed American system built home in Iowa, but we also live in Chicago.
You lost me at we. You know, tell me about you.
Oh, me, just me alone. Oh, okay then. So I started my career as a butler for a wealthy family in the suburbs of Chicago, and that's where I really found my love of homes and home keeping. A few years later, I was
Okay, time out. How does one become a butler? That's
well, this was a while ago, 20 years. So I saw a classified ad and I responded, and it was legit. And so I was hired to be basically the house husband to the lonely wife of a wealthy man. And so, the rest is history.
how long were you a butler?
2 years, and I didn't like being the help, as it turns out. I wanted to have help of my own instead.
Of course.
We still have not gotten help at any point in the past 20 years, so I probably should have just stuck with being the help, but,
So what did you do after butlering?
So then I was an editor at Apartment Therapy, a nesting blog.
Apartment Therapy. That company did the video of Charles Bush's apartment. Oh yes, I'm familiar with that. Which Russell and I were happy or lucky enough to see in person at one time. So, that's cool. Apartment Therapy. Ooh, I like that.
And then I left there, and then we bought this house, and then I've been blogging about this house and our renovations of the house. And then my day job is doing digital marketing for a packaging company back in Chicago.
What do they package?
Everything. They sell bottles, cans, any sort of packaging you can possibly want.
Oh, cool. All right. Biodegradable, I hope.
Oh, natch, of course.
All right, Michael. We're at a Dixie Longate performance, and you've struck out with Dixie, and you're stuck with me. So tell me about yourself.
Well, after those early, very Downton Abbey years with Jason, where I was the kept man, kept downstairs, I blossomed and bloomed and entered the world as a mentor for young people with autism, and I continue that wonderful work. But beyond that, I had the great fortune of befriending a fabulous, marvelous 90-plus-year-old gay American artist named Bernard Perlin. We became fast friends through the last years of his life. And
okay. Hold time out. Let's tell people who he was.
So, Bernard Perlin was an artist who really came to attention during World War II, designing propaganda posters, and then as a war artist correspondent. He, however, had been denied service due to professing publicly his homosexuality. He also didn't want to fight the war, but he instead painted it with his paintbrush and made his own valuable contribution to the effort, and then became a pretty well-known and well-regarded artist throughout the 40s, 50s, and 60s, and moved in some pretty high circles. Knew everybody who was anybody during his time. And together we worked on a long-form interview, which became a book about his life, and it's now being adapted into a documentary film. So
how exciting.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. I'm glad to see him become better known, and to have a little hand in helping to tell his story. And
now, how did you meet him?
I wrote him a fan letter. I had seen his name threaded through a number of books that I was reading then about this extraordinary circle of mid-century gay artists, of which he had been a part. He was the last living member of that group. I was astonished to find out that he was still living. I tracked him down. I just wrote a letter. He called me. A flurry of phone calls between us then ensued until he finally invited me out to his home in Connecticut, and I hopped on a plane and went. And that's how it all came together, remarkably. And
so had you written anything before?
Just little things here and there, but nothing. I'd never undertaken anything as major as putting together a book. It really came together fairly organically. And it unfortunately it came out after his passing, so he wasn't able to appreciate it and see it. But it received some accolades, and some great attention was brought to his work because of it, and it set me off on an unexpected new side career, managing his artistic estate, promoting his work, and now writing about other artists of his era.
Oh wow, we'll have to have another show all about that.
Well, absolutely, it's a big topic.
So Jason, how did you meet Michael? Was it at a Dixie Longate show?
How did I meet Michael?
Yes. Oh, yes. How did you meet Michael?
Yes, I met Michael in a bar in the 20th century, and we locked eyes across the room. I was sitting.
Okay, where was the bar? Where was the bar?
This was a bar in Chicago. It no longer exists.
In Boys Town.
It was called Spin. As Michael likes to tell the story, I came in and
wait. Did you say spins or spits?
Spin.
Spins. Okay.
Yeah.
As Michael likes to tell the story, I came in, I sat under a spotlight with my black turtleneck, and I pulled out my journal.
Wait, I should tell the story. I was having a little Leonardo DiCaprio fixation during that period of time. He was in this movie called Total Eclipse about Arthur Rimbaud, the gay French poet. And so I'm in this bar, it's like 1 a.m, no luck, I'm ready to go, I'm with some friends, I'm just disillusioned, forget it. And then this one walks in, comes in across the bar, sits down under a spotlight, orders a martini, and then pulls out his journal and starts writing it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we locked eyes across the way. I went to the restroom. He was gone. We met again at the coat check, and we've been inseparable ever since.
Then he told me in the coat check line, his opening line was, "I just saw the most wonderful Italian movie tonight, and it made me cry." Oh, God. He had me on the hook. It was a one-night stand, and neither of us ever left it.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so cute. So cute. All right. Many years later, you buy a Frank Lloyd home.
Yeah.
Building. How did that come about?
The most roundabout way possible. We were looking for a small cabin within a 2-hour drive of Chicago. We ended up finding this delightful little 2-room cabin in Spring Green, Wisconsin, which is where Taliesin is. And like so over the moon about this cabin and being, in Spring Green and like in the shadow of Frank Lloyd Wright. Well, it turns out the cabin had a homemade septic system that during the inspection, they said, we're actually surprised we didn't fall into the holding tank and basically into a pile of human waste. So we were like, okay, yeah, we're done here. Bye-bye. We are not buying this house. Unbeknownst to me, while we were looking at that house, this mister had been looking at this house.
Yeah, I was playing around on the side. And I found this house, which didn't meet any of our criteria.
It met the opposite of our criteria. It's 5 hours from Chicago. It's a big house. It's over 100 years old, and it's in a small town. None of those things are what we wanted. We wanted rural, we wanted tiny, we wanted modern, but
we wanted someplace we could go out and be naked in the woods.
Yeah.
And well, I guess we could do that here, but we would shock the locals.
So
I think we've got some pictures of the house. So you bought the house. So we'll jump to that.
I finally told Michael, let's just go out and see the house, get it out of your system. It was an awful drive out. We hit this like awful blinding rain and had to pull over like twice. And yet within 5 minutes of walking in the door, I said, we have to buy this house. So we did. And that was 8 years ago. And we've been slowly rehabbing. We started on the first floor, and so we've completed all the first floor projects. This is a photo of the house in its very 1980s interior, and this is the house today, with the much more Wrightian lines and furnishings. And
Now, were you aware or a fan of Wright before you bought the house, or was it just?
Well, I mean, living in Chicago as we also do and have for several decades, you can't help but bump into Wright's architecture and legacy. So it wasn't that we were avid fans, but we were certainly appreciative of it, of his work. You know, the fact that we could take on the stewardship of a house with its history and its pedigree was really fun. A fun idea for us. And I mean, we loved the house. We fell in love with the house.
How would you describe Wright's work if you said, "Oh, Wright does this," or "Wright looks like this"?
Well, of this era, it's the prairie style. So it's very boxy, clean lines. You can see the banding around the outside of the house, the corner windows.
Yeah, the windows really, everything expresses Wright's. He had a philosophy called organic architecture, which was about bringing the outdoors in. So in every room you're in this house, you're in relationship with what's happening outside, the nature that's happening outside with the windows, which are just absolutely stunning. We have art glass windows. There's wood everywhere, and just beautiful wood lines everywhere that draw the eye where he wants you to go. I mean, you're constantly feeling manipulated. It's as though the house is alive in some ways and always somehow moving you where it wants you to be and go, or your eyes.
What prompted you to write the book?
Well, you know, we've always been house romantics. Any apartment that we've ever lived in, we've always sat around, maybe drinking a little bit, and say, gosh, I really wish we could see like who lived here, you know, what happened here throughout the years. And when we bought this house, because it's in a small town in Iowa, we were able to connect with every single person, or if they were dead, and their relatives who have lived in this house over the years. And so we were collecting their stories, also collecting the history of Frank Lloyd Wright's American System-Built Homes, because it was kind of a lost era of his work. And as we were collecting it and blogging about it, a book just felt natural.
Oh, that sounds lovely. I can see a movie. I can see a musical about of the history of that house. That's with Harold Hill coming through.
But like then?
Yes, not now.
You've got some news tonight. So tell us the next step about the house.
We have some bittersweet news. After almost 9 years and hundreds of thousands of miles on our cars' odometers driving back and forth from Iowa to Chicago, we've made the decision to sell the house and open us up to be able to travel to visit more famous American homes. And of course, our first stop is going to be at Satan's Anus for lunch. Because you can't pass that up. So yeah, we're hoping to expand the blog into more famous American homes. Part of what I did at Apartment Therapy was called house tours, and so I would go into homes and photograph them, and it was a part of that job that I really loved. And so we kind of want to return to that and be able to get out and, you know, if anything, if we learned anything from the past 2 years of the pandemic, is that we tend to choose to want to be home a lot, but now after that, if we can get out and go enjoy life.
Yes.
Well, you guys, I admire your relationship. I admire your drive and the way things have just happened for you. You know, that is so cool to see. Thank you so much. We'll have you back to talk about some of your other projects as well. But good. Oh, okay. So how much are you selling the house for? What's the selling price?
It's listed for $140, which doesn't seem like a lot, especially when we're from Chicago. But mind you, this is a very small town in a very remote part of Iowa. So
But 140, that wouldn't buy
breath
an
of air.
outhouse here in
Oh,
Burlington.
Coffee
Oh,
in New York, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah. Where's the closest airport?
that would probably be
Madison?
Cedar Rapids, Iowa,
Or Madison,
or
Wisconsin.
Madison, Wisconsin, which are both 2 hours in different directions.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe 140 is a little overpriced. Thank you so much, guys. Great meeting you.
Oh,
and we will talk again. Oh, my. Oh, fascinating meeting these people every week here on Amber Live. Well, now here's my rant and rave of the week. Now, for the rave, the past 2 weeks have seen all 3 local colleges hold graduation ceremonies. Hallelujah. And don't think I'm raving because I see all the places these young minds will go. I'm raving because I see that they are going somewhere else other than Burlington. Now, I do appreciate that having the colleges does great things for our local economy, but the last 2 weeks of the school year are just difficult to get through. The bars are full of people drinking up nerve juice to hit on that person they saw that first day of freshman year and are finally going to hit on them. And house parties are everywhere, every night, all night. So graduates, the future is waiting for you. And a lot of us are waiting for you to leave. Okay, now my rant. Well, why is President Biden getting such low approval ratings? Don't people remember what the previous 4 years were like? Yes, there is inflation. Some gas stations are adjusting their pumps to register $10. There's the baby formula shortage and many other things that are affecting our personal economic situation. But how many of these are Joe's fault? Can Joe stop corporations from raising prices while registering record profits? Can Joe ignore what's happening in the Ukraine? I'd rather suffer a bit in the purse than have the return of a narcissistic, egotistical sociopath in the White House. And there's more than one of them out there than just the orange one. Yeah. That's my rant and rave this week. But you know who we want to talk to now? It's Rocco Zamboni. Rocco, come on in.
Hey, Amber, how you doing, huh?
All right, Rocco. So what do you want to talk about tonight?
Well, it's pretty funny you're talking about Frank Lloyd Wright and architecture and all that stuff because in my family, I don't know if you know this, but I also come from a line of famous architects. For instance, my uncle, Francis Lloyd Sinatra Zamboni. This guy did some great architecture. You know, I mean, there's homes all over the country that this guy did over the years. He's got his signature stuff. It's really nice. You should see it.
Do you have any pictures?
Oh, now you want pictures. Okay. Twist my arm. All right. Russell, look. You see, this house he built for a guy in 1942 because the guy thought the Japanese and the Nazis would be invading his house. So he built it there so he could have a trap door. So when they come in, they fall through into the water. And then through the trap door, he would poop on them.
And that's your relative. That's your relative.
Well, not the guy in the house. My uncle built the place. He's like, hey, whatever they want, the price is right. I'll do it. I don't care. People are nuts. Oh, this one was the rectory for St. John's the Baptist Church. Don't ask me why. I don't know. But the priests live there. They're keeping an eye on you, I guess. Oh, this one was built for somebody who loved the water towers. Now, apparently, they loved it so much they had to live there. It's just crazy people living in a water tower that was turned into a house. But,
yes.
You know, oh, this one, hey, the guy who invented suppositories lives there.
Oops.
This house was inspired by the movie Sharknado.
So your relative was really hip to pop culture.
Oh, yeah. Culture. He had his hand in everything. He's a Zamboni. I mean, come on, look at the toilet house. This
Yeah?
was built for the Crapper family, the inventors of the toilet.
I didn't know that. Oops.
This one, apparently, he built it right side up. Somebody sneezed, and they're like, hey, I like it. Leave it like that. This one, I don't know what the hell it is, but boy, it took a long time to get the wood and bricks and stuff up to that place.
Don't you look at things like that, and that's what you think about. What was the labor involved with that?
Yeah, and go try walking the dog in that area. Are you kidding?
Whoa.
Well, this one he didn't actually build. It sort of just landed there, and he slapped his name on it. He took the credit for some, Space Invaders. Ooh.
That sounds like a Zamboni to me.
You're damn right. So what'd you think? He does pretty good work, right?
I think so. Maybe you should write a book about all the people who have lived in those places.
That's not a bad idea. Maybe I will. Don't you think you would love to spend your life living in a giant toilet?
Sometimes life is pretty shitty.
It's true.
It seems like it. Yeah.
Like, all right, but it'd be ironic if there's no bathrooms in the place, wouldn't it? Where's your bathroom? We don't got one. You're living in a toilet. Shit on the floor. There's hoses everywhere and drains. Good to go.
Rocco, next weekend is Memorial Day weekend. Do you have any big plans?
I'm probably going to eat a hot dog off of some chick's butt.
We all have goals and to celebrate Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rocco.
All right. I'll see you later.
All right. Oh, Rocco Zamboni eating a hot dog off some hot girl's butt. Hey, it's Memorial Day. Why not? So let's bring Jack in. Hey, Jack. Hello there. A wide spectrum of information and entertainment tonight.
As always, it is hard to follow that act.
Yes. All right. So let's show the caption picture that one more time about jerk off the grill.
Sure. And speaking of eating hot dogs off of someone's butt, let's start off with good food. And I've got one from Boog and Shug who say the best way to get fresh hot sauce.
Yes. Thank you, Buck and Shug.
From Gary Buck who says a little extra flavor for your meat.
Yes.
If that's not the slogan before, then it should be now. Cousin Craig chimes in and says burger with a happy ending.
Instead of a happy meal, it's a happy ending.
The happy meal comes with some sort of a prize, so the happy ending comes with something else that's unexpected. I hope that you're serving this in your glory hole that you were talking about earlier. And we got one more comment from our good friend Rusty Peen who says, no special sauce for me, bud.
Rusty would not like that at all. So, Jack, you got any news about any of your projects that you've been known to delve into?
Well, I am glad to say we mentioned this the other week that Sweaty Balls, the music video, is currently in the Merced Queer Film Festival in California. This is the final night of it. It is being nominated for Best Music Video, and the awards are going to be happening at 9 p.m. Pacific time, so midnight here. So hopefully we have some news to report next week. But meanwhile,
I think so.
You can check out our music video featuring the Beaver Pond Players. It is on YouTube, and the song is streaming wherever one may stream music. If you are still trying to avoid Spotify because of that douchebag Joe Rogan, we have it on Amazon, on Apple Music, on iHeartRadio, and on YouTube Music.
We're on iHeartRadio.
Yeah, we're on iHeartRadio. Why not?
I don't know.
They'll take us. We'll take it.
Oh, I thought those days were over. All right. Hey, Russell, come on.
Somebody's got to heart us.
Did you burn some bridges with iHeartRadio, Amber?
I don't know.
Lord knows what she did.
I don't know. All right, Russell. So a nice show tonight. Fascinating guest, really entertaining and informative. And I really had a good time. So what do we have coming up next week?
Oh my goodness. Next week, we have a great interview that we just recorded yesterday, actually, with uh, two incredible actors, one of whom is Stephen Wallum, and he is from Nurse Jackie and Law and Order SUV, and The Resident that he's on now, and then his husband, Tony, and I forgot to write his name down, and can you say it, Amber? Do you have it there? As soon as you said that, I was like, oh yeah, his last name. Heimrecker?
We're on it. We're so on it.
Rickhauser.
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 Okay, there we go. Who is an incredible artistic director. And the two of them met with Amber yesterday and talked for an hour. And it's a absolutely wonderful and fascinating interview about a lot about theater and a lot about the two of them.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. All right. Well, thank you very much, Russell. We'll see you Wednesday night for Amber Chat. Jack, good to see you. Thank you so much for all you do. I can't wait to hear what Sweaty Balls does. Let's do that. All right. Now, May 22nd, 2022 would have been Harvey Milk's 92nd birthday. Harvey Milk was a visionary civil and human rights leader who became one of the first openly gay elected officials in the United States when he won a seat on the San Francisco Board of Supervisors in 1977. Harvey owned a camera store. When area merchants tried to prevent two gay men from opening a store, Milk and a few other business owners founded the Castro Village Association, a first-in-the-nation organizing of predominantly GLBT businesses with Milk as president. Milk spoke of the American ideal of equality, proclaiming, "Gay people, we will not win our rights by staying quietly in our closets. We are coming out to fight the lies, the myths, the distortions. We're coming out to tell the truths about the gays, for I am tired of the conspiracy of silence. So I'm going to talk about it, and I want you to talk about it. You must come out." On November 27th, 1978, a disgruntled former city supervisor assassinated Milk and Mayor George Moscone. Dan White sneaked in City Hall through a basement window, avoiding the metal detectors at the official entrances, went to Moscone's office, killed him, and then walked down to the hall to kill Milk. That night, a crowd of thousands spontaneously came together on Castro Street and marched to City Hall in the silent vigil that has been recognized as one of the most eloquent responses to violence that a community has ever expressed. May 22nd is Harvey Milk Day. It's a day to remember and teach about Milk's life and his work to stop discrimination against our community. Members of the GLBT plus community would not have the rights that we do today if it hadn't been for Harvey Milk. Thank you, sir. And that's this week's show. And here's Boog and Shug.
I always liked Amber's outfits. Really? Why? They remind me of Frank Lloyd Wright. They do? They remind me of Frank Lloyd Wrong.